What's up? What's good? What is happening? Welcome to my live stream. I am the actual King Smith, and this is my regular Tuesday night vlog in which I show up and talk about whatever the funk I want to talk about. I'm live streaming across multiple platforms. You can find me on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Do me a favor. If you're watching this on Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube, mash that like button for your boy. Help me out on the algorithms. That's the algorithm over here. What are we talking about today? Today's vlog is titled, Why Do People Complicate Things, Then Justify Why They Do It? This thought stemmed from a podcast that I was listening to where people were calling into a show asking for advice. And about 90% of what I heard from these people calling in, I'm hearing story after story after story of people saying the most complicated situation imaginable and then justifying why they had to do it. And it was leading to emotional stress, financial stress, and a host of other things that made me go, why? Why are these people doing all this extra stuff and then giving the host reasons that they're doing it when they could just simply cut out the cancer, cut out the things that was making things overly complicated, simplify stuff, and move from the route of keeping things simple. So I wanted to come in, get some things off about that, and look into ways that people can simply just simplify your life. Stop complicating things and then justify why you're doing it. So before I get into this, let me take a look and see who's in the building. We got Tarika with the same last name as me, Smith, one of the best mods out there. She always shows up. Salute to her. We got Michelle. Hey, lady. How you doing? I haven't seen your Tuesday night short, but I'm going to go check it out when this live stream is done. Shout out to fellow free agent Ricky Webster in the building. He said, what's up, big bro? The actual King Smith, Tarika, and Michelle. He said, hey, queen, to Tarika, and a hey to Michelle. That's what's up. My man, TJ, hold up. I wish I had my soundboard going right now. TJ Ablay is in the building. Check it in on LinkedIn. You might be my first LinkedIn live viewer. And for that, I give you a salute, good sir. I appreciate you popping in. Free agent for life. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, man. Hey, I appreciate everybody that's taking the time out. We're not going to be here too long. I know when you hear that in Baptist churches, they say, I ain't going to keep you too long. You're going to be there 2.5 hours. The moment that they say that, you might as well find you a spot on the bench and go to sleep because you're going to be there a long time. All right. But for real, I'm not going to keep you there too long. I'm out. I'm on vacation this week. I am spending time with me padre near Memphis, Tennessee. So I'm out this way. I have spent some time with family last week, spending some time with other family this week, and I'm enjoying it. But I am off all week this week. Went to the casino yesterday, lost me some money, saw other people hit 9 grand, 5 grand. I walked out there with just a lint in my pocket. All right. So let's get into my opening monologue here. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know. Have you ever found yourselves in a spot where you felt like your life was just way too complicated? I know I have. I'll tell you right now, I have. It felt like I was drowning in a sea of just stress, tasks, responsibilities, obligations, you name it. You name it. And it just seemed like it kept piling on. The more that I tried to shed, the more things just kept popping up. And what's crazy is that it's a common problem that a lot of us face today, in which things are more fast paced. All right. We're living in a hyper connected world as well. I'm streaming across multiple platforms right now. I'm trying to look at what's going on in the comment section, what my monologue is, making sure that I'm able to click to the next thing. I got some stuff typed up here and I'm trying to keep up with all of it. I'm doing a good job of it because I make things just look easy. All right. But right now, and even going further, we're just simply living in an age in that we're constantly bombarded with information, expectations, demands on your time and your attention. And if you follow me, one of the things that I say often, all of the time, is guard your meat. Shout out to Coach Greg Adams. He's the guy that framed that. What is your meat? All right. It's not what's downstairs, it is money, energy, attention, and time. And it was something about the way that Coach Greg Adams broke that down that made me go, man, if you simply guard your meat, your money, energy, attention, and time, and you treat that with the utmost value, okay, and you simplify the things around that, you'll find yourself just simply being less stressful. Simplify that type of stuff, you'll find yourself with more money, more energy. You'll be choosy about who you give your attention and time to. It's that easy. Once you master that, I'm telling you, your life gets easier and it skyrockets in value. Okay? But all too often people they make things more complicated by taking on too much, overthinking things and trying to do a lot at once. I was somebody that did that. And I've since gone, what does not bring me value and what do I need to drop? Okay, so before I get into the rest of my monologue, let's see what we have in the comments. Ricky Russell said, heck yeah, protect your meat. He's heard this. Both him and I listen to and we catch a YouTuber by the name of Coach Greg Adams, and the guy breaks down information in a way that's entertaining, and educational. It's a combination of edutainment. And that's what I try to do over here as well. I'm bringing up my skills on that and I will get there. All right. Let's get back to my monologue. All right. Why do we do this to ourselves? Why do people overcomplicate things? Why do people insist on making their lives so complicated? Is it because we think that you have to do these things to achieve a certain level of success? Do you have FOMO, fear of missing out? Or is it just because you don't know any better? Okay. You don't know that you are that there's a simple way of doing something because you're used to just being go, 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 go. I live in Maryland. I put that out there. All of my social media is open. It's not hard to tell where I live. Okay. I've been in Alabama, Mississippi, and Florida over the last couple of days. And what I've noticed is that down south, things move a whole lot slower. It almost feels disrespectful how slow they move down south. But the thing about it is that they move and do things a lot more simpler down here. Okay? And it's got its good and bad points. When you're trying to get to the next thing because you have something else going on, or A is connected to B and B is connected to C, you kind of want things to get the ball rolling. What I found is that being down here in the South, it's got its good and bad points when it comes to just the way things just simply move. Michelle was recently down in the South, and I want to say that she saw that firsthand because she was down here for a couple of days, and she can attest to how slow things move when she's typically grown up and lived in a place that's a whole lot faster. I'd love to know what she thinks about the different pace based on where she lives versus where she just traveled to. I'm curious. Tarika said, don't you do us South people like that. Come on, Tarika, you know. And hey, I sent you a text message. I told you I was out near your area this past week, and I would have loved to have met up. My plans kind of changed a little bit, so that didn't happen. But the next time I'm down your way, I will absolutely hit you up. And Michelle agrees. She said, yes, Lord. It's hard to slow down, but it's necessary at times. Absolutely. And Ricky said he was born and raised in Alabama. Hey man, roll tide, roll tide. I don't know if you follow football. If you tell me that you're an Auburn fan, Ricky, I just won't know. I won't know what to do with that piece of information. All right. I'm going to finish my monologue and then I'm going to get into three things because y'all know I always come with the things. All right. What's the things? All right. Well, King, if you want to talk about this stuff, what are some things to highlight that we can bring value out to people and talk about? Well, I'm going to go over those things as well. All right. So, look, whatever the reason that you choose to overcomplicate something, typically you feel overwhelmed by doing it, stressed out, and burned out. Never fails. When you overcomplicate things, you will get to a point to where you feel overwhelmed, stressed, and burned out. Sometimes people lose sight of what's really important, and then they start to lose touch with themselves and their loved ones as well. When I was active duty in the Air Force, we were put in stressful situations all the time. There were times that I can look back now and tell that I was a lot more stressed that I let on, and it affected the relationships and the people around me. And that's not just me and my job, that was a good bit of other people as well. There's a reason why people say to the veterans and stuff, do I want to get counseled for saying this? Not every job's going to have, there's going to be different levels of stress no matter what you do, whether you're working inside in a office type job, if you're infantry with guns and bullets flying over your head, or you were like me where I was aerial refueling going 7,000 miles per hour, and I've got another aircraft in close proximity trying to give them gas in the air and not have them hit me or not fly into a mountain and lose my life. That's every There's stress at every level. So I don't want to minimize what other jobs do or don't do and say that they don't have stress because they absolutely have stress. If you have deadlines that you have to meet because your boss is imposing 11 steps on you, then you've got those deadlines. All right. Ricky said he stands neutral between Alabama and Auburn. I can respect that. I can respect that. Okay. And Michelle said it right now, man. We roll tide over here. We roll tide over here. All right. So where am I at? I'm at 14 minutes. Oh, yeah. I'm going to definitely be at about 20, 25. Okay. Look, if you're feeling like your life is just too complicated, stop. Stop. Take a step back and ask yourself, what can I share? What can I simplify? What can I let go of? And what really matters to me? But you better have a damn good reason why that matters. All right. Because look, the truth is, life doesn't have to be complicated. It's only as complicated as you make it to be. In fact, it's often the simpler things in life that brings us the most joy and fulfillment. I'm 38 and I'm just learning this. So, do what I always do and what I always tell people to do. You've heard me talk about this. Take a deep breath. Let go of the things that need to be that are overly complicated and focus on what truly matters. And I'm going to go into 3 points that you can do that can simplify your life. But before I do, Ricky, I forgot you're in Alabama, man. I think we talked about this. If I would have realized that, I would have tried to link up with you while I was down that way. I'm gonna make that happen, man, the next time if you're still around that way. Shout out to Pete the Greek. He said, yo, hey man, I appreciate you getting off your job and tuning in. I appreciate that. Okay, so do I have my three things up here? Man, I'm smart. Okay, let's go with thing number one. Prioritize and declutter. What matters to you? Okay, this is one of the most effective ways of simplifying your life is to just simply take the time to prioritize what is truly important and get rid of everything else. That could be relationships as well. Some things you're not going to be able to just drop. If you have a kid and your kid's an asshole, but they're under the age of 18, by law, you kind of have to house them assholes. But for the most part, like if you have a relationship with somebody and that person's just stressing you out because they're overly complicated, why are you staying with them? Are you justifying it by saying, well, we married? Okay. Are you doing things that are simplifying yourself and making you happy and that person's not? Talk with them about it. If they make a choice not to change, drop them. You're not tied to anybody because of whatever reason. There's a myriad of reasons. I'm not even going to go into them because if you want to, you will justify whatever you want to do because it's, what you think you have to do. No. 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 Drop it. Prioritize and declutter. All right? Clean up your space. I can almost guarantee that people that are overly complicated on things have messy cars, messy houses, messy rooms. They don't know how to stay decluttered. Okay. They don't know how to prioritize what's important to them. It's a telltale sign. When you see people that are stressed out, take a look at their car. Car's not clean, house not clean. They're overly stressed almost every single time. It's one of the telltale signs. Okay. So if you can get to a point to where you can declutter your space and the people around you, and drop things that don't serve a purpose for you or bring you joy, once you get rid of all of that, you'll keep the things that matter to you. You'll have the things that are important to you, and you'll have the things that bring you joy and happiness, which is temporary. But if you keep those things around, you can have more moments of joy, more moments of happiness than you do of sadness and stress. Okay. And then after you do that, after you prioritize and declutter yourself, work on things like I've already talked about relationships, hobbies, personal growth. That's why I do this channel. My channel is about personal growth. I'm sharing the stuff I'm doing every day, every week, so that you can follow along and you can see for yourself that when you prioritize yourself, when you educate yourself on things, you can watch yourself grow and grow in ways that it's hard. I mean, you can quantify it, but it's not immediate. It takes time, and that's why I want to do it. Before I go to my next step, I talked about how I was going to share one of my financial goals, which is to get rid of all of my consumer debt, credit card debts, and things like that. Well, I wanted to show, and I'm going to do this different next time. Actually, no, I'm just going to say go into the community tab at the end of this stream about an hour or so later or tomorrow, whenever you decide to check, I'm going to give the update. I have one credit card that had about a $900 balance on it. And I said that by the end of March, I was going to have that zeroed and paid off. And then I'm going to work on the next credit card and things to reduce. Now, there's all different methods and ways that you can do to work credit card debt. I'm going to do it because there's the smart way and then there's like a psychological way. Well, I'm going to work on what's the one that has the closest balance to zero that I can throw a lot of money at to get it down. That's my method. I'm not telling y'all to do that, but I'm going to share that so that you can see that when I'm in a position where I'm financially free in the near future, it's going to start from when I started sharing my goals February 28th, and I showed, dollar for dollar how much I owed, what I put down, and I give these updates. You're going to see how I got to the point to where I can afford whatever I choose to afford. It's because I put in the work now to do it. Okay. So let's go to my next point. But before I do that, let me check the comments and see where we're at. All right. Ricky said, I'm coming your way before the year's end. Hey, if you come up to Maryland, bro, holla at me. Let me know. Okay. You've got my email. I'm not hard to find on social media. I am not hard to find. Hit me up. Instagram, you got my email. I don't mind sliding you my number. I don't care. it's hit me up, bro. Let me know that you're up this way and we will link up for show. Pete asks, what if a change happens in your life that you couldn't control and didn't want? The same things that I'm going to talk about applies. Okay. I would say step one, don't panic, stop, take a breath, and then what are the factors that are surrounding it, right? You would want to still prioritize what's going on. Like, what are you trying to get out of it, or what do you need to eliminate for this, for that change, or whatever it was, just to completely go away? You would, yeah, stop, breathe, assess the situation, and then prioritize what it is that you need to do. And then I want to say, let me see what the rest of my points 2 and 3 were. Oh, yep. Points 2 and 3 definitely will answer your question, Pete. So I'm going to get into that a little bit later on. Michelle said, come to my hometown of Baltimore. Slowness doesn't work up here. See, this is my problem. If I'm reading that, I'm saying Baltimore. You should have wrote Baltimore. Or people from Baltimore should just start saying Baltimore. This is why English is so messed up. Reed said that he adopts very well. Yeah, man, pull up, pull up. And Michelle, don't be having people bringing them up here and taking them out to eating vegan meals, unless Ricky's a vegan. And then, yeah, definitely show people out and take them to go eat vegan meals. Come on. All right. Point number two. Point number two. Learn the power of nope. Just like that. You don't need to add anything to it. You don't need to justify why you say it. Just say no. Just say no. Nope. Ask the people around me. I will occasionally. I say nope when I need to say no. I say nope when I don't have the capacity. Okay. I say nope sometimes when I just don't want to do it because, in my opinion, whatever you just asked me is not good for you. It's hard to do when it's loved one and the people in your immediate surroundings that you care about. But I'm going to tell you right now, when you learn to say no, you'll realize how simple things can be. Sometimes you have to be okay with losing out on opportunities. Sometimes you have to be okay with people feeling some type of way because you just told them no. All right. But it's an essential skill. I'm teaching my daughter that. I get frustrated when she tells me no. And then there are times where I will veto her because I'm trying to let her know, hey, what this is trying to do is going to enrich you. She said no to an opportunity that I was trying to get her on. And I'm just like, okay, I hear that you said no. You think that this may not apply to you, but here's why it does. And this is why I'm doing parent veto. I do want my daughter to understand the power in her words, right? At the same time, I am also, as her parent, would you call it obligated? I'm obligated to steer her in certain ways. I don't know. For those of y'all who are parents, y'all tell me, would you be, are parents obligated to point their kids in a direction even if their kid doesn't want to do it? It was something that we talked about the other day. And I'm curious what other people think about that. But many people tend to take on too much because they say yes to every opportunity or request that comes their way. I say yes a lot, but I also say no fairly often. And sometimes I have to be reminded that it's okay. No, I know it's okay to say no, but that I need to say no. I don't need to take on every opportunity. And actually, even today, when I was mentioning about an opportunity on something, I got to ask the question, with everything that you've got going on already, can you really take that on? And I took a step back and I was like, actually, thank you for bringing that up. I hadn't had the time to really assess what it was that I was being asked, but the short answer was no, I didn't have the opportunity and the capacity to take it on. So I'm going to have to say no to what that opportunity was. But when you do learn to say no to things that don't align with your own priorities or values, you realize that you'll have a little bit more free time and energy for the things that truly matter to you. And when you're working on the things that truly matter to you, I'm telling you, you will feel and see how much that makes you happy. We're at 26 minutes and I'm about to get to point number 3 and be done for the day. Let's go into the comments before I get into point number 3. Okay, Michelle said that the 3 of us can grab a vegan meal. Absolutely. Hey, Ricky might know somebody up here. Okay. And Michelle said, when it comes to Baltimore, I don't care what you read, you know what to say. Yep, you got to put the D in there, Baltimore. And Pete says, as long as you pay for it, absolutely. Vegan snacks slap. Some vegan snacks slap. I haven't had a bad one yet. That ice cream that you put me on, is that like vegan ice cream? Whatever it is, it slaps. Every time I go to the common market now, that will be a mandatory buy. It brings me happiness and it brings me joy. Ricky said, great stream. I almost said scream. I've been in the South too long. I'm gonna start. Know what I'm talking about? Know what I'm saying? Hey man, hey, what up, Shawty? You know, when you're from the South, you realize people speak different. Okay. I know Texas might have its own swing to it. Cali, they speak real proper out there on the East Coast. But I'm telling you, when you Alabama, Tennessee, maybe Florida. I was at the panhandle part of Florida, kind of right by the Alabama state line. It's a different speak. You got to have the ears to be able to understand what it is that people are saying. And she said, like I said, vegan snacks slap. That's what's up. Point number 3, self-care matters. Plain and simple, self-care matters, all right? And I'm talking about all the things. Physical, emotional, and your mental well-being is crucial to simplify your life. Some people say spiritual. I'm not what I would classify as a spiritual person myself, okay? I'm more looking at my physical well-being. You know, your boy's starting to get in shape, all right? I did a 60-mile challenge for the month of February that I finished up yesterday. Shout out to Michelle for recommending it. And she did her miles that she finished up earlier today. So you know what? Bravo to her. All right. That was a goal. That was a goal that we both set and we did the work to make it happen. And I'm not going to say it was easy. I'm not going to say it was easy. Okay. Your emotional self-care, taking the time to rest. Michelle can attest to this one. She made the decision to be more mindful about the opportunities that she took a part of because that lady's doing a whole lot of different things and making sure that she's getting proper rest, which we both have Fitbits. Okay. And when you look at the data, sometimes you think that you're getting enough sleep, but the data will tell you otherwise. So I've been taking the time to make sure that my emotional well-being is taken care of and that my mentals, you know, the mentals, make sure your mental mind is straight. Some people they do things like yoga and meditation. I'm not a yoga person. It is seeing me try to get in downward dog is probably one of the most hilarious things you will ever see. But there is some things to meditation that I find useful that works for me. For the most part, it's understanding your breathing. I'm telling y'all, 2023 is the year where I tell people to be more accountable. I'm all about that. I think I'm gonna buy shirts that have be accountable on it and wear it 24/7. But being accountable to who you are and what you do and to the things that you do. All right. Because accountability revolves around actions and things that's being done. And breathing, breath work, simply realizing understanding your breath, like people that hyperventilate, they're hyperventilating when they're stressed. Okay. When you get put in stressful situations, you don't know it, but you're like, you're not breathing in a way that calms you down. But when you can learn and master breath control to where it's second nature to be more mindful about your breath, it's second nature to make sure that you're getting those deep breaths, man, I'm telling you, the benefits that come along with it, I can't fully describe it because I'm still learning it myself. I just know that once I've started doing it, I've seen those immediate benefits to my stress levels. Okay. But getting enough sleep, I wrote eating healthy. I don't follow that fully, but eating healthy, um, exercising regularly. Like I'll start to feel a lot more energetic now that I've been active about 4 to 5 days a week, which I've talked about was one of my goals for 2023 is simply being more active. My job's a sedentary job. My regular 9 to 5, I'm behind the desk for the most part. So I'm a little bit more mindful about getting up. I'm a little bit more mindful about ensuring I can get 30 to 45 minutes. And I don't make excuses. I've got a lot going on. I do live streams. I've got relationships that I'm cultivating. I have my job that pays the bills, a lot of other things, but I don't make excuses when it comes to the self-care stuff as well because I'm prioritizing that for me. Okay. I don't care what it does for you. I don't care if it makes you happy or not. I'm talking about what matters to me. All right. Let's see. We're at 33 minutes. Doggone it. I was going to try to keep it under 30 minutes. I was going to give some common ways. Matter of fact, I am because I can do this in under 2 minutes. Common things that people do that they tend to complicate is overthinking. I tell somebody all the time, she knows who she is. Her last name is the opposite of late, that she overthinks. Simplify your mind. Don't overthink. Procrastinating. Procrastinating is another thing that leads to complications because you put off tasks, you create what's called like a backlog. And then as you try to get those tasks off, you're bumping up on deadlines and you're adding undue or unnecessary stress. All right. Being perfect, perfectionism doesn't have to be perfect. Sometimes you just got to do. I have somebody that I've been telling them that or they've been wanting to start doing YouTube videos and stuff for a while, and they want the thumbnails and how do I worry about SEO and all this stuff? It's been a year and a half and they haven't done a single damn video because they're trying to be perfect. Don't worry about being perfect. Okay. You can strive for perfection, but when you do, sometimes it leads to unrealistic standards. Don't overcommit because overcommitting is another way that people tend to complicate things. I've already talked about that enough. And then the last one that I wrote down here was lack of organization. Okay. When you're not organized, you don't have a plan. I've talked about plans. I will sound like a parrot sometimes because I'm going to talk about the same things. Creating a plan, doing, okay, executing that plan. Things aren't going to always go according to plan, but as long as you're putting your left foot in front of your right foot, and then your left foot in front of your right foot, and then you keep doing steps, you keep making plan, you keep doing actions, you will get somewhere. It may not be the most efficient way, but as time goes on, which is one of the four things that you need to understand and value, as time goes on, when you do, you will see progress in ways that sometimes it's just hard to quantify, at least not long term. At least not long term. Okay. You'll get to a point and you'll look back and go, man, it wasn't easy getting here, but I did things. If you haven't hit the like button yet, take a second and do me a favor and hit the like button. Because we're about to end the stream. I'm going to look into what is said in the comments and then we are going to close it out. Good people. First of all, thanks everybody for tuning in live. To the people that watch the replay or listen to this on audio, because I'm going to download this and put this on audio. Thank you. Okay. In the link in the description is my link tree link. It has all my social medias. If you're interested in linking up and connecting, do it. Okay. Pete said, I want to see you do that this summer. You going down, dog. Doing the downward dog. Like I said, you don't want to see that. Okay. And Pete says, I always say that life will hit you hard, but it's up to you on how you get back and how you hit back. Bingo. Ding, ding, ding. It is up to you as to how you get back up and how you hit back. Don't just take things on the corner. All right. Turn the cheek. Oh, you can turn the other cheek and just keep going. Just because you hit an obstacle, it's not a full stop. I'm here to tell you, it is not a full stop. You will encounter setbacks. It's what you do when you encounter those setbacks that determines how you move forward. Okay. So, for everybody watching, thank you. If you hadn't hit the like button yet, hit the like button. And I'm out. Peace.